So this is a very important thing that people should know. Like when I do the comeback, these are the things that are going to be there, and I need to have a very sharp and clear positioning.
Learn more, reskill more. Within no time, you will be back to your caliber, justifying your caliber.
Perfect.
And then, even if they speak about career breaks, right? If you are a person who has directly randomly jumped onto an interview after a career break, you won't be able to justify or answer that, because experience is also important. Some of the leaders are not skilled on tools, they're not skilled on skill sets, but their wisdom is important, right? Their experience is important. Today she is at 28 LPA.
Wow.
So she returned back to work at 13, she's at 28. I'm just giving you numbers because I think you know better, Shivangi, being a corporate coach as well, that the next drive of recruitment is not coming in from corporates. It's coming from startups and scaling up companies.
Hello everyone, welcome to our podcast. Today we are going to have a very important discussion on a very sensitive topic with the industry expert, a person who has been exactly solving the problem statement that we are targeting today. That is people with career gap, and specifically women, how they can come back, how they can make a strong comeback even in the year 2025, when we all are talking about AI taking up our jobs, recession and all these things, firing, layoffs and so many things going in the market. Still in this year 2025, people with career gap can make a strong comeback in the industry. So today we have the industry expert specifically known to solve this exact problem, and we have Satyam, who is the career comeback expert. So welcome, Satyam.
Thank you, Shivangi. Thank you. Really excited. Looking forward.
Right. Super excited because somehow, I talk about career development. I talk about getting jobs, and you are very specific about solving this problem. And there is a lot of, similarity on the pain points that we are targeting. True. So I'm sure that, the intent we have right now with this discussion, I'm 100% sure that we'll be able to fulfill that. So even I'm excited on the behalf of my audience that we are going to have an insightful conversation today. So Satyam, the main reason I'll tell you why I wanted to have this conversation. So I have my relative, she's my sister-in-law, a relative. And I saw when she started her career along with my cousin, who was the brother, both of them were in the same level, and I'll tell you, because that's my brother, I know him, so she's smarter than my brother, and she was doing very well in her career, and there was 1 year when she had to take maternity leave, In that year, what happened, just because she's going to be in a maternity leave, after some time, she did not get hike on that year, Next year, because she was on leave, maternity leave, she did not getting a pay was enough for her. Now, when she came back, she wanted to join the company. That year as well, she did not get any hike because she had just come back from the maternity leave. And this is how I see, and it happens at least once, twice or thrice in the life of every woman. And I feel this is how, even the smarter women we see in the market who are doing really well in their job, somehow their career is sabotaged. And when I see, when I discuss the similar thing with people, there are women who even take longer gaps. And when they have to come back to the industry, I see that as one of the biggest challenges. So how do you feel like they should be able to navigate it? Like how they should see it so that they can have a stronger comeback without letting anybody undermine them or skip their hike or anything? How do you think they should approach this?
Interesting. So thanks for asking this question, Shivangi, because what I do at present is help women on career breaks return back to work.
Right.
Now, most of the times, the women who come for our coaching programs or for our programs are those who already have had 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, up to 15 years of career break as well. So I do not get a chance to address those women who are planning for a career break. Right. So with your question I will try to at least address that crowd. So see, career breaks are usually taken, at least by Indian women, for marriage, maternity, other family commitments, sometimes elderly care, sometimes due to their own health recovery. Multiple reasons could come. Sometimes the incidences of taking breaks due to sabbatical, just taking a break just to focus on their personal growth is also that is also coming up. Now, when you plan for a career break, especially when women plan for a career break, if they can plan it in advance, right? The corporates today have policies for maternity leaves. They have most of them would have policies for different kind of support systems to women when they are planning for maternity leaves or even for their marriages, relocation and everything.
Yeah.
Most of the women, when they take these breaks, they are a little, what should I say, carefree, which means because of these strong policies that the corporates, portray or project, they would not make any special efforts. The women would not make any special efforts to plan for their return after the career break while they are taking career break, which is okay. Which is okay if they are completely immersed in that particular life journey or personal journey, whether it is marriage, maternity or anything else, right? But what happens during this break is their entire environment shifts, right? Their entire focus shifts. So sometimes they are completely immersed in family. Sometimes they are completely immersed in raising up their kids, right? And what happens is human brain is tricky. It has a short-term memory of the past. It tricks us to believe that we are good enough only for things that we have been doing in the recent past.
Correct, absolutely.
So a woman with a career break, 2 years, 3 years, even 1 year, or even more, 5 years, 10 years, when they plan to return back, which is mostly when their kid would be at an age when they can leave him or her to the daycare or something is sorted, things have got stabilized. The most critical factor, the blockage, is in their own mind. Because the same women, if you would have talked to her 3 years back, high level of self-confidence,
Right.
because of high performance, high recognition, right? High level of self-belief, self-reliance.
Correct.
But suddenly that goes down without their fault, because their mind has been conditioned for a particular task that they were immersed in. Right? They'll be very confident in handling the kid. They'll be very confident in handling the family. But suddenly when they want to restart, their mind tricks them that it's not your cup of tea now. So when their mind tricks them this way, they suddenly start seeing all the negativities.
Right.
For example, lack of corporate support, no salary raise, rejoining at a salary cut, right? All of these things start messing up with their mind. A better way, the best way to plan for this is you plan before your career break, which means your career break is there, you plan it that way. During your career break, there is leave, but immediately after your career break, you plan things accordingly so that you can rejoin. Right? And during your break, when you have some time for yourself, you keep reskilling.
Correct.
Right?
Absolutely. Very
A
important.
huge advantage to women on career breaks, when I see it from externally, is that people in the industry are not reskilling that much. If you just you are a skilling coach, so you would know better that people in the industry, right, they are a little bit into their comfort zone.
Right. Absolutely.
They have the job, so there is salary coming in, they deprioritize their upskilling.
Right.
And upskilling and reskilling is what? Non-negotiable today.
Correct.
Right? It has to come in. The world is changing so fast. Technology is coming up, evolving, tools are coming in, AI is coming in. Women on career breaks, because now they have time for themselves, it could be their marriage leave, maternity leave, they must take out some time. This is the best way to plan in advance, that they can take out some time to start reskilling themselves. So that after their break, which could be 6 months or 1 year at a standard, they can come back not just with a break, but something that they have accomplished. Some reskilling, some new mindset that they have accomplished during their break. And that will give them an amazing re-entry opportunity. But this is the best way, not the most practical way, I understand, because human mind does not work that way. Most of the women would like to immerse in their marriage experience, would like to immerse in their maternity experience, and by the time they realize it's already 3-4 years that have passed by.
Right.
In that case, you accept the reality, and I'll just give you examples. For example, let's say a woman was working at 15 lakhs, so let's say 20 lakhs per annum, right? She took a break, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. She decided to come back. She got into training, she got into our community, we helped her out. She got an opportunity to return back to work at 13 LPA.
Okay.
The last salary was 20 LPA. I'm just giving you an extreme example. Does not happen all the time. We train them on negotiation as well. But she got an opportunity at 13 and she was talking to me. She was into personalized coaching. Satyam, should I take it up? Was the profile good? Yes. Was it of her interest? Yes. Was the company good? Were the people good in terms of energies? She said yes to all. I said, you take it up. This is 1 year back. Today she is at 28 LPA.
Wow.
So she joined, returned back to work at 13. She's at 28. I'm just giving you numbers so that everybody understands that your re-entry is not your ultimate goal. Your re-entry is just a re-entry. And once you are inside, if you are capable enough, the caliber is there, you are getting a chance to work on live projects. Any salaries, consider it as a bonus. You were already on a break, right? Consider it as a bonus. Learn more, reskill more. Within no time, you will be back to your caliber, justifying your caliber.
Perfect. Sounds really good. But now, I think when it comes to career break, in Western countries, in other countries, it's not a big deal, right? They easily have gap year concept, right? So they have 1 year, 2 year gaps, and they just do whatever they want to do, and then they confidently enter the corporate.
Yes.
Now, in Indian corporate scenario, gap is considered to be a huge taboo. And even if the employers are not considering it to be a big blocker, I think the mentality of the people who are trying to do the career gap, that's the biggest problem I see.
True.
And they just feel like, if just because I am coming back, I try to join, their entire positioning and every single thing is like, whenever they're explaining all the questions, all the answers, and whenever the interviewer asks, did you take a break? Boom. They feel like it ended. They go blank. They are unable to justify it, and at the same time, their confidence level goes down. Right? So they are fine with anything that the person is saying. So how do you think? Like, how do you feel like the mindset shifts should happen so that they can actually confidently come back? The other thing is definitely, as you said, right? Earlier, the industry would change really slow, right? Then there were 1 year, 2 years of gap, and then things and technologies were changing. Now, every single month, things are changing. What people are doing is they feel like, okay, I'm a software engineer and I will join as a software engineer. But the thing is, right now, it's not software engineer is no position at all. Right? What specific do you do is the main thing. What are the tools where you are specialized? For example, for an automation tester. If you are specialized, you cannot say that I'm an automation tester and you can get selected. It doesn't work like that. If you were working on something like Tosca earlier, right now, if you want to do the comeback, you need to know like things like Playwright, because this has already wiped up the market of Tosca. So this is a very important thing that people should know. Like, when I do the comeback, these are the things that are going to be there, and I need to have a very sharp and clear positioning. So this is a mindset that I think, and this is why the confidence level is low. I'm a software engineer, I'm a software tester, I'm an automation tester. So those generic job descriptions or the job titles, they don't work anymore at all.
Very true.
Right? So that's why when they come back to the market, they feel like we are old school, and market, whatever is happening around me, this is something I cannot understand. Right? So about the mindset, what else do you think is they should be doing so that they can have, at least they don't undermine what they have done, they don't get blank when they are asked these questions, and they can easily navigate through it. So what do you think they should do?
Very interesting points that you have touched upon, Shivangi, and I'll try to address them as they come. So first thing, that when the interviewer asks about the career break, they would go blank.
Right.
By research, so as of today, I would have directly addressed around 7,000 plus women professionals on career breaks through sessions, through masterclasses, through also some kind of researches, surveys as well. And we realized that the most common fear, the biggest fear when we ask them, when it comes to re-entering, what would we answer when the recruiter says, why did you take a break? Right? How would we answer? So my question to them was, don't you know why did you take a break, right? You know that. Why are you so skeptical to answer? But there is a problem there. I told you, human brain is tricky, right? The moment you are out of touch of your professional self. So there is this interesting thing that we do inside our community, only with the premium members, that we ask them, tell me, if you are on a break for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever number of years, and suddenly one day you decided you want to re-enter the industry, and you approach a coach, for example me, and you ask me, Satyam, I'm really in need of a job, and I use all my network and make you sit in front of the interviewer just the next day, would you be able to present the best of your professional self? Yes or no? Is that an opportunity, or is that a waste of opportunity? all of them, or at least 99% of them who listen to this question would answer waste of opportunity. They'll answer no, we don't want that. Your mind tricks them that you need a job. You immediately need salary. It just tricks you. But the reality is you need your next professional leap, right? And if today you are on a career break, tomorrow you want to re-enter and you're sitting in front of the recruiter, that's not an opportunity, that's a waste of opportunity because you won't be able to present the best of your professional self at least.
Correct.
So what do you need? You need some period to go inside. You need some time to go inside, reassess your skill sets, reassess your strengths, map it with the industry trends, reskill if required, and most of the times it would require.
Absolutely.
Reskill, rebuild that confidence, and then you move out.
Right.
When they have done that inside our community, you won't believe the magic that we have created. Recruiters have created. So we talk to recruiters. The nature of my work is we constantly talk to the recruiters on a daily basis. Recruiters are telling us that if you have women on career breaks, candidates who are women on career breaks and they are deployable, please give it to us. Give the candidates list to us. We will hire them over and above industry people. Not all, but many of them. Why?
Diversity?
That's one of the reasons, but there are more practical reasons. Number one, recruiters feel that negotiation would be easy.
Yeah.
With industry people, negotiation is hard. If there is a budget, let's say 10 to 14 lakhs per annum, they know somebody from the industry would negotiate hard, they'll have to overshoot the budget. A woman on a career break would come within the budget. They are pretty sure about that. That's the advantage to the recruiters. But there is an advantage, right? Number two, notice period. Huge advantage to women on career breaks. I'm again saying provided that they are deployable. If the deployability quotient is sorted, average notice period in corporates today is 90 days. If you're lucky, it's 60 days. A recruiter floating an offer letter, waiting for 60-90 days in today's world. You just talked about how the fast tools are changing, designations are changing. Within 90 days, the designation goes away.
Right.
Or the candidate goes away with a different offer. But women on career breaks, when can you join if you get an offer letter? Tomorrow. 7 days. 15 days at max. Big advantage to the recruiter. All of the risks are avoided. The problem is, if there are 10 recruiters or corporates who would give you an impression that because of your career break, we cannot take you in, there are 90 others who would be actually valuing your skill sets and the deployability quotient. Now the onus is on you. So we specifically ask women to not engage in thoughts whether recruiters are hiring women on career breaks or not, whether corporates are hiring women on career breaks or not. You think about what you can do. Where are the gaps? If this is the JD you are targeting, are you well versed to interview for this JD today? If you are well versed, which means you have reskilled, you are in for deployability, which means you are ready, which comes with some project work, right? Self-paced project, guided projects today, right? You can do it. You don't need a company to do projects today. You can simulate. And there are so many portals. And that is the exact thing that we do inside our community. Once they are confident with the tools and skills, they have deployed them enough, and they are confident, 8 out of 10 recruiters would consider them, depending upon how well they have trained for interviews and everything else. Because I think you know better, Shivangi, being a corporate coach as well, that the next drive of recruitment is not coming in from corporates. It's coming from startups and scaling up companies. Corporates are anyway getting cut down, right? Because every corporate, there is a piece that is cut and a startup is formed with a new tool, with a new skill. And the startups they are not concerned about whether you're from the industry or from break or sabbatical. They are concerned about deployability. Can you do this work? Do you have the right skills? Can you work remotely or hybrid? Come in. They have a budget constraint for sure, but that is working as an advantage for people with career breaks because they are getting in re-entry to the workforce and they can grow from there.
Absolutely. So, you rightly say that there are a lot of blessings or the good points that people often ignore. And when we talk about career breaks, we just keep on stressing upon the shortcomings of it, right? So if we can just focus on the advantage that we have in hand, I think the mindset is going to be shifted very quickly, and it is definitely going to help them negotiate the offers better, right? Because even if somebody is coming back after a career break, it's fine. That definitely they should get into the market, and growth is definitely going to happen, because career is not a 1 day, 2 day, or 2 year thing. Career is a long term thing.
True.
On an average, I think a person in corporate, in private sector, they work for 40 years. In government sector, they work for 28, 30 years. Okay, so it's a long term game. So the offer letter immediately that you are getting is not everything, right?
True.
But at the same time, when you are entering, the kind of offer letter you are getting, that also plays a very important role,
Always.
right, in shaping how much your growth is going to happen. Because correct me if I'm wrong, when I see the career graph of people, okay, it's not for specifically for career growth, career gap people, but it is for everyone. So when they start their career as a fresher, from 1 to 2 years, it grows like this. The people with 2 to 6 years, it grows like this.
Compounds.
Right, it compounds. Why? Because these people like me, right, we are high in energy, we are high in time, we don't have a lot of family responsibilities, so all the energy and everything that we have, we just spend it on work, learning, and even our managers are happy because we are available. Right, if they have to call somebody or they want somebody to go just extra step, then we are the most reliable people, because we know that we are not engaged anywhere else. So yeah, these things are important, and then it slows down a between.
True.
So even if you're doing a comeback at this graph, right, still when you are doing a comeback, I think having a fair pay is very important, right?
True.
So, and that comes when you are smart enough to negotiate the salary. The first
Yes.
thing is you understand what value you bring to the table.
Yes.
Second thing is you are confident that what you are going to the table, going to bring to the table, because when it comes to interviews or it comes to job switch, we are not selling our experience, we are selling our potential.
True.
Correct. So how do you think that the people with career break, who have so much of stigma, who have so many self doubts, they undermine themselves, what do you think there are the can you tell me the 5 best ways they can negotiate for a good salary so that they can have a very strong career comeback?
So very interesting thing, Shivangi. I mean, very critical part, the most critical part would still remain negotiation, even in the
Right.
re-entry. I'm not sure of whether I know 5 things or not, but whatever I teach, I'll try to cover that.
Sure.
So before I start this, so we have testimonials and success stories of women with 4 years of career break rejoining at 40% raise,
Wow.
right? There was a woman who had 7 years of career break. She joined at 30% raise from the previous salary,
Right.
How has this happened? So of course we train them on negotiation as well, how to do negotiation. The first thing would rise out of your statement, which when you said that you're not selling your experience, you're selling your potential. Right? So when you negotiate, the most common benchmark on any candidate's mind is the previous salary. Right? And for women on career breaks, that's the obvious benchmark because that's the last time they earned something.
Correct.
So if that is the benchmark, that you will play on that benchmark,
Right.
which is anyway 4 years, 5 years back number, plus you have a break, so recruiter will try to push you on the break part. Recruiter already has an advantage. But if the benchmark changes, if the benchmark is the industry standard for the profile you are applying for, right? So if the industry standard for a particular profile is, let's say, 15 lakhs per annum, right? And you worked at 10 lakhs per annum. But you know, out of every research that you have done, that for this profile, on an average, these kind of companies are paying 15 LPA.
Right.
You can code this, right? And if I code this in this way, for example, you are a recruiter, I am a candidate, and I say, Shivangi, I heard that there is 15 lakhs being offered by the industry for this particular position. Can you offer me that much? You would say, but Satyam, you have a career break, so I understand, but it would take some time to get trained, and we have our budget. The most common argument, our budget is up to 12 lakhs only, right? We train them to speak it like this. Shivangi, I have been interviewing for other roles, and I think their offer to me would come to a range of 15 to 18 lakhs per annum. Do you think Shivangi Academy would be able to pay that much, right? Could you increase your budget? So this you becomes the company.
Right.
So now the recruiter speaks on the behalf of the company. There is a psychological shift.
Correct.
Right?
Absolutely.
So if you say, can you offer me versus you say, can Google offer me?
Right.
this much. There is a difference on the table
Right,
itself.
right.
Plus the benchmark is the industry benchmark, right? And then they, even if they speak about career breaks, right? If you are a person who has directly randomly jumped onto an interview after a career break, you won't be able to justify or answer
Right.
that. But if you have worked on your deployability, then you start speaking about projects. Shivangi, people from the industry will sure bring in the experience.
Right.
But I am sure that the kind of reskilling I have done, with the kind of JD that demands the skills and tools that were a part of the JD, I have done projects in each of them. For example, I've done projects on Jira, Pencil.io, BRD. And when I was doing these projects, these simulations were exactly as your projects would be.
Right.
So I'm bringing in deployability. I'll be able to add value from day one. It will save you a lot of time, money, and resources on training, right?
Perfect.
So you are actually negotiating not just in terms of your previous salary, but the kind of money a recruiter would save, the kind of money a company could offer,
Right.
and the kind of money if you don't offer, I'm already getting.
Right.
That kind of confidence building, if you bring to the negotiation table, there is no reason you would need to accept a cut unless the circumstances are exceptional that you immediately want to join something. You immediately want to restart. We still say it's okay to accept a cut of 20-30%. Within 6 months, you would be able to recover that and more.
Absolutely. You mentioned at one place that there is something like industry standard. Okay. So what I train, like the motto or the main thing that we believe in is your expertise matters more than experience. Okay. Why I say this? Because this is the exact principle that I live by. When I left my job, I immediately got a consulting in Walmart, right? And in Walmart, I started working. I didn't. The catch for me was it was not related to my degree. I had no on-paper experience. I just got my job there, and I was working alongside the director as a consultant. Okay, and I had nothing to mention there. The only thing that I had was the conversation that we had. I positioned myself as an expert because I was already doing freelancing. And I was like, let's say I was making 50 LPA, sorry, not even 50 LPA, 50,000, let's say, because I was a fresher there, right? Then when Walmart asked me how much you want, I said, I want 2 lakhs in a month. They said, we are not sure, but maybe, but I brought it back to 1.8. Why? Because I did not talk about how many years of experience I have. I did not talk about the previous salary I drew, and I did not even let them question my, anything on my resume as well as my, degree, because I had nothing in that. And I feel like if that worked for me at that time, it can work literally for anyone.
It would.
Because that was the worst case scenario. I could not justify in terms of degree. I could not justify in terms of experience. All I could do was I was just sitting, talking about the work that we will do and kind of freelance projects that I have done and what is the vision I have. And I quickly got hired. When I got hired, I was 23 years old. And the person with whom I was working with, after working for 6 months, when I met them, we were shocked to see each other because that person had 23 years of experience and I was 23 years old.
Wow.
Right. So
that's
that was,
amazing.
and that was the thing. That was the exact moment when I thought, like, if it can work for me, this belief can work for literally any single person in the world, because that was the worst case scenario.
True.
So when I train people, I literally say that, and if you see even the companies, there are people who don't have a lot of on paper experience, but still they are having really good salaries than the people who are sitting at the director level and sitting there for a long time, right?
Very true.
So when people focus a lot on expertise instead of just doing the cliche thing like just counting the years of experience, I think that helps a lot. And the second reason I see in negotiation, what happens, the recruiter tries to move the conversation in a direction that you are getting this much, we can give you the X% of raise. Okay, so understanding the psychology, how you, just the way you say it, right? How you flip the script there. So exactly understanding the psychology and then moving away from that kind of conversation and saying that this is something that I'm looking for. That is something that is going to help a lot of people, and that has actually helped people. There was a person whom I was training, and he had 12 LPA at the time. Okay, when we talked about making a change, he was like, okay, maybe I'll get 10%, 20%. At max, I can get 50%. If really good, we can get 100%, which is very ambitious thing.
In corporates, yes.
When we started the preparation for that person, we just moved away from saying that 100% yes and 4 years of experience, 5 years of experience. Let's keep everything aside and let's imagine how much you can get. We planned a change that, and we'll like, even if we can get 30, he was like, no, 30 shouldn't be possible for me, right? Then we just moved aside everything and we just focused on the skills and the projects that he has done. We had a lot of discussions only on the projects, and he got 38 LPA.
38. Wow.
Even honestly,
not even a percentage, it's times, like 4x, 3x.
Right. And if you just sit and keep counting things in terms of percentage, you're always going to sabotage yourself, right? If you have the capability, if you have the skills, if you are sure that you can learn, and the cherry on the cake, if you know how to communicate that, I think you are always going to do really well and much better than other people in the market.
Very
so
true.
To be honest, I'll tell you, when I was saying 30, I was also like, okay, let me hype him up by saying 30, but I was not confident that he will be able to get it, but he got 38.
Amazing.
So, when things happen for multiple people, I feel very sure, and that's exactly why I built that motto. If you come here, don't come here with X number of experience. Tell me what is the expertise you bring, and you can literally ask for any amount in the world, and you will get it. Right? So that helps people, and specifically in negotiation, because Indian recruiters have this habit. I can give you 10% raise, 50% raise, 100% raise. So yeah, moving away from that helps.
So yes, whatever you talked about is really interesting, and that brings me to also something that a person can get only till the extent he or she believes that they are capable of, right? That they deserve. So in order to push someone for negotiation, before even we come to the words and how the negotiations would happen, how the to and fro communication would happen, how the arguments would happen, what would be the benchmark, you did the right thing of working on the inner belief system. Right? Because whatever you believe inside, that's the extent you can get. Above that you cannot get. If you believe that you are good for 25, you would anyway be really excited with 26.
Right.
And recruiter would sense that. Right? And I'm with recruiters because they are also professionals. Their KRA is to save budget.
Yes,
right? So if their KRA is to save budget, they
That's
will have to negotiate.
For them. They are doing good success. In their job, right?
And there was a time when I was training recruiters on how to negotiate. Okay. So I empathize with them. Okay, they have to negotiate well to save on their KRAs, right? But now a person or a candidate who comes in and talks only about her experience or only about her expertise has to believe from inside that her expertise and experience actually is worth this much. Right? And that belief will drive the negotiation. Absolutely. Now that belief comes from two places. Number one, understanding your self-worth. And sometimes you need a coach, you need a mentor to make you understand that you are worth this much.
Right.
Understanding the industry standards. Correct. That for this kind of expertise, what would normally somebody would pay, right? Somebody from the industry would pay for the candidate who is bringing in this kind of expertise and this kind of wisdom. What I feel is the entire job market, and what I feel is the result of all the learnings from the mentors and experts that I watch as podcasts and learn from coaches, that the world is moving from being a employment friendly world to a freelance and consulting friendly world. Yes. When I say world, the industry world. Right? Less and less of jobs which are full-time employment will come in the coming times, 10 years, 20 years, and more flexible freelance consulting jobs will come.
Right.
And a consultant does not charge for experience. They charge for value.
Right.
The value that they are adding to the client, they will charge 10, 20%, 30% of that value, depending on the industry. And if everybody today, especially women on career breaks that are in my community, they start thinking like freelancers and consultants, they will come out of that benchmark of how much I was earning then a break comes, because for a consultant, experience is highly valued.
Correct.
Expertise is highly valued. And tools are anyway changing. So a person who is sitting at a particular designation for the last 10 years and has not reskilled, which is the case with 70+%, I'm being conservative, maybe 80+% of the industry people, they are not reskilling.
Mid managers, higher managers,
Never.
most of the people, they are literally sitting in the same company for 20 years.
Exactly. And because of the comfort zone, they are not stretching. So if
Right.
they're not stretching themselves, they're not reskilling. That's why the layoffs, if not now, maybe later, right?
Maybe later.
And that is acting as an advantage to this freelance and consulting world. Why? Because if the tools are anyway changing, the skills are anyway evolving, then a person who is sitting at a past skill for the last 10 to 15 years and a person who is new or coming after a break but has reskilled,
Right.
you're still at the same position, right?
Absolutely.
Because tomorrow if there is a new tool coming in, if I learn it, I am a deployable candidate. If you learn it, you are a deployable candidate, irrespective of your past experience,
Correct,
right?
correct.
So that is something that is fueling this freelance and consulting world. And if it comes to wisdom, because experience is also important. Some of the leaders are not skilled on tools.
Right,
They're
right.
not skilled on skill sets, but their wisdom is
yeah,
important,
right,
right?
right.
Their experience is important. I don't think in the entire world there is any project, whether it is corporates, whether it is startups or any other project, non-corporates as well, there is any other project which is more complicated than maternity and raising a wise kid. We have talked to women professionals, what they go through in that process, and not just the physical process of the maternity, but raising a kid. It's an experience of wisdom that I don't think any other project can bring.
Right.
And I'm just talking about an extreme situation. Readjusting to an entirely new social system because of your marriage.
Right.
Juggling between work, life, family. If you're a working woman, I don't think there are projects that can match the complications of this situation.
Multitasking, wearing multiple
A
hats.
lot of things. Multiple hats plus in an environment which is not yours.
Right.
In a new environment, suddenly you're wearing multiple hats. Plus you want to uphold your professional aspirations as well. This project itself has so much wisdom. If you realize, as a woman on career break, if all women realize this, your presentation to the recruiters, your confidence, your self-belief would change. Right? Because you would realize that you're bringing a lot of wisdom which people sitting for 10, 20 years on a particular position just for the sake of sitting do not have.
Perfect. Beautifully said. But when these people enter, right? So I see entering, even if they enter, I see like there is some kind of bias. Okay. Thinking that the person has just, even no matter what they are bringing to the table, they don't understand. If you see in a corporate, nobody knows what the other person knows, right?
True.
But somehow there is a bias, and I see it mostly coming from the immediate manager. I'm telling you because I have seen it very closely. They feel they just have this assumption that the person might not be like everybody else, or I need to somehow ensure that the person is focusing here as well because they have something else in the back end. And the third thing is even they feel like they just assume that the person is not focused, right? So there are a lot of toxicity and bias I see for people with career gap in corporates. So how do you feel? Like, have you seen any story like this in your conversations, and how did they navigate it?
I mean, always there. It will be there. I think it was there earlier as well. It is there now, and it will always be there. There will be toxic people because you don't know what is happening in their lives. Why are they so toxic? And there is no point going into their minds as well. But how to handle this is important. So let's say a woman on career break re-enters, right? She get an opportunity, she gets an offer letter, she re-enters. Now, if she has re-entered, surely she would have worked on her deployability, right? 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. In our community, we have success stories of women re-entering after 14 years of career break.
Wow.
Right? And an amazing salary, her preferred domain, 100% remote work. Right?
Wow.
Now, so
That's
this is
literally
happening.
a dream come true, right?
It was a dream when I started the community, but it is happening. So proof of concept, just like for you that 12 to 38 LPA jump is a proof of concept that it can happen.
Yes.
For me, it's a proof of concept that this can happen. Now, till the time we reached here, there were many success stories of 3 years return back to work, 5 years career break, return back to work, 10 years career break, we were very happy. We cut a cake. 10 years career break, we made a return back to work. And then we got a 14 years career break success story. Now with a lot of them, at least 20-30% of them, this thing happened that the happiness was a little short-lived.
Okay.
So they returned back to work, but suddenly a new challenge. They were out of work 4, 5 years, 6 years, suddenly work part. And that challenge becomes easy and smooth to handle if the surroundings are supportive. So for a lot of them, the surroundings were supportive, but for a few of them, they were not.
Okay.
Managers getting toxic, not liking, a bias that they would not work as good as compared to somebody else. So they were not giving them work. They were not involving them in important discussions. These things come in. And then at least with those women on career breaks who are into personalized coaching, we got this chance to interact with them. They said, Satyam, I returned back to work. I was so happy, but these things are happening. I'm really, my happiness was short-lived. My morale is getting down. So we sat and we discussed it. And we tried to find a solution. The solution that worked was this. So I told them that, okay, for the last 3 months, to ensure that you are deployable, you were working on projects, self-paced projects, pro bono. They worked on Coursera self-paced projects, Forage self-paced projects with startups of their friends, pro bono projects in their tools, right? Not earning, but improving their deployability.
Right.
That is how you got this job. Now consider that for the next 3 to 6 months, whatever is bearable, you are working on a project that also pays you money. And you cut every emotions off. Try. Not 100% possible, but try it out. These women, most of them, almost all of them, within 6 months, shifted either their department or the company. Because see, when you're a woman on a career break, all the challenges that we help them for are there. But when you're in the industry, you are in the industry. 6 months of good projects with the understanding of good resume, good LinkedIn, good presentations, good self-confidence, you can make the next move.
Right.
For a skilled and deployable professional, there is always demand. There is always, for a skilled and deployable professional.
Right.
If you are skilled and deployable, there will be demand. So you don't get attached to your next job as something which is the ultimate aim of your life. Right? Job has come to you. Either the people would be really friendly, energies would be nice, then you commit yourself. You flow. Right? You go with the flow and you keep on growing. But if that is not so congenial, if the energies are not so good, then you detach and you consider that as a project that is paying you. So you do what the project demands and your objective is simple. You're doing this to rebuild your resume because there was a break. To rebuild your LinkedIn, to rebuild all your profile, and now you're working in real life scenario. Earlier you were doing pro bono projects in the coaching system, but now you're doing projects in real life scenario. Trust me, the same women within 3 to 6 months rebuild their resume, work for the company, then argued confidently with their super managers that this is what we are not liking. Some of them got a department shift. Okay, we agree that because when you speak with confidence, everybody listens.
Right.
When you are not confident from inside, that is when these guys get a chance. All the toxic people in the corporates and companies, they get a chance because you lack confidence. You build your own confidence, everybody would listen to you.
Superb, actually. And I see, how do you feel like the importance of personal branding when doing a career comeback? Because what happens is when people are on gap, when people are doing whatever XYZ they have been doing, somehow they are available. Right? You can see their digital footprint. You can see that there is something going on, right? Because right now, whenever a recruiter wants to interview, the first thing that they are going to click from your resume is your LinkedIn link.
True.
Right? Even if you are applying on Naukri, they are going to ask for the LinkedIn page. So what happens is, I think people just disappear. So how do you help them doing the personal branding as well while doing their career comeback? And how does it help?
I mean, we both know how it helps, right? I think, like for me and also for you, a lot of credit to our professional growth has to go to personal branding,
Absolutely.
Right? And LinkedIn has a big role to play. People would say that it's crowded, it's becoming the new Instagram, new Facebook, whatever. I'm not sure. It's definitely crowded. It's more distractive. Like there are more distractions there. But still, if there is one place where most of the decision makers are hanging out, where most of the clients, where most of the hiring managers are hanging out, if there is one place today, it has to be LinkedIn. Right?
Yeah, of course.
And that is one limitation that women who had longer career breaks have. Because 5-6 years back, 10 years back, this was not the situation.
Right.
Your resume was enough and the shifts were easy. You were working in a company, you applied through Naukri, you applied through different portals, company pages, and you will get the next job basis your skills and negotiation, whatever. Today it's not like that. And we had to work a lot to actually remove that mental blockage of the shyness, and I don't want to talk about my break, I don't want to talk about my new skills, I don't need to show. अगर आपके पास टैलेंट है तो दिखाना नहीं पड़ता. these things have changed now.
Right.
And I think you would also not believe on this. I firmly believe that अगर आप talent दिखाओगे नहीं तो किसी को पता ही नहीं चलेगा.
Exactly.
It will be of no use.
100% agree.
It will be of no use at all, because I've seen enough of average and above average talent getting into multiple positions in the world, and really great experts who are sitting at their home just thinking about their expertise.
Exactly.
You've seen enough people like that, right?
Absolutely,
Especially into the coaching industry. So since we are coaching people, I know what are you doing with this expertise? Just sitting here.
Yeah.
No, Satyam, you tell me what to do, but I'll not showcase. Then you don't enter the coaching program.
This is the era of hyper visibility.
It has
people
to be.
Need to be visible.
It has to be. There has to be visibility, because there are so many people highlighting themselves. And if you can come out of that mental blockage, there was a woman with a career break, 4 years I think, and really fast in terms of deployability, learned very quickly, reskilled quickly, was doing projects, but LinkedIn was a blockage. We worked really hard to remove that blockage, that you consider your LinkedIn just as your own portfolio. See, you don't worry about likes, you don't worry about how many people are liking, because you're not a creator, you're a professional. Whatever you're upskilling on, reskilling on, if 3 months down the line you get an interview, for example, you get an interview and you have to revise. How would you revise? You can go to LinkedIn and check the kind of post and learnings that you have shared, and you can revise through them. So she liked that idea, and she just kept posting on LinkedIn whatever projects she was doing. Every other day, new learnings she was getting, new tools she used, she started posting on LinkedIn. Okay, in the interview it will help. I think we worked on a LinkedIn. This is again an extreme case. 1.5 months. She did not have a LinkedIn profile. She started a LinkedIn profile, did this 45 days. Somebody, because she kept tagging me on her posts, right? I said, you just tag me. Whenever you are learning something, you just tag me, saying anything that I learned this, I had an interaction with Satyam and whatever. Just we do the tag exchange. Na? A recruiter who was in touch with me, he got that notification. And she was looking for somebody for 100% remote role with that tool knowledge, which she was getting deployed on her projects. Because I was tagged, the recruiter in the network saw it.
Right.
We got her an interview. She is already back to work.
Wow.
Again, an extreme case, might not happen with everybody in 1.5 months. That I'm clearly coming out saying that. But you see the kind of potential. Just when people think about personal branding, they just kind of matchmake themselves with creators. We have to get a lot of likes, we have to get a lot of followers, a lot of reactions. It's not like that.
It's not like that.
For professionals, it's different.
The intent is absolutely different.
Very different. And that's how the KPIs will also be different.
Right.
Your intent is not to attract a big crowd. Your intent is when somebody goes to your LinkedIn profile, which the recruiters will go to whether you like it or not. They will check your LinkedIn profile today before making the decision. When they go there, what impression are they getting? They do not see the likes on your post. They see the quality of the post. They see your about section. They see your headline. They see how sincerely you have prepared your professional image. And then if you have created insightful content, that's an icing on the cake, cherry on the cake, right? And that is what recruiters see. And LinkedIn has become a game changer for our community. I'm sure for all your professionals who you train, it is a game changer. It is a game changer for me. When I say me, for all women on career breaks.
Right.
LinkedIn has become the way to network and actually get opportunities without even formally applying. And this is bound to increase. This will explode in the next few years.
Right.
Thank you so much, Shivangi, for this amazing discussion, for organizing this. Actually, I realized a lot of new things from you. And I also learned a lot of things which I was doing, but I was not recording. So that definitely helps.
Yeah.
And everybody who is watching, especially all the mid-level career professionals who are looking for job switch and salary hikes, please go and check out Shivangi's page, shivangi.srivastav2. You will get amazing help.
Cool. Same here, Satyam. It has been amazing. I think a person who wants to have a career comeback right now in the year 2025, where people are saying the market is tough, it is happening. It is, you are making it behind the scenes every single day for so many women. And I think, this, the thing that you are doing right now, the work that you are bringing, it has a lot of value right now. It's not in terms of transaction, money or anything, but the actual, the good impactful work that you are bringing and solving one of the most important and the biggest issues that Indian women are facing. So I think it is already a very noble profession that you have chosen for yourself. And I'm so grateful to have this conversation, the real conversation where we are talking about the, like, no shortcuts, no tips and tricks, hacks. We're talking about the real thing that has been tried, tested, and it has worked for so many people. So I'm very happy to have this conversation. So yeah, so for all the women who want to do a career comeback, please go ahead and directly contact the expert in this field who has created not one, two, but multiple success stories, and have a community and has a community who is super targeted exactly in solving your problem. So go ahead and follow Career Comeback with Satyam, and feel free to drop any comments if you have any questions at all that is related to your job switch, salary hike, career comeback, or your career growth. Thank you so much for joining. Just go ahead, send us the comments if you have any questions, and we both of us would love to answer each and every comment that we get. Thank you so much for joining. See you in the next episode.